Welcome to Facts Not Included, the podcast. Boom, boom, boom. This is a new series, Tangent Fridays. Oh my goodness, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, it just means that every Friday from here to eternity, well, who knows? Every Friday going on out, we are going to be having a random episode that is not necessarily movie related, or it is, and it could be about a topic that we just want to discuss here on the show that we can't really do on an episode where we are reviewing a movie, let's just say. And so we're gonna be doing that on Friday. So check that out every Friday at 12 noon, hopefully. There will be a new episode of Tangent Fridays. We might change the name, we might not, but that's the name we're going to stick to now. I kind of like it. The guys like it. Saying that, actually, that being said, the guys are not here on this episode. It is just me. So if you don't like me, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to say. No, I'm just really offended, actually, that you don't like me. I don't care. Well, if you guys are interested in hearing an episode like this, stay tuned because we're about to get right into some weird, I actually wouldn't say weird, but an interesting conversation about the movie world as it is. You know, we're hitting into this weird, we've been in the digital age of movie going, but we're hitting this new subscription style movie going, and it's something I kind of want to talk about. So as you guys know, of course, this is Facts Not Included, the podcast. So that means we see a lot of movies here. This is a movie podcast. This is a podcast that talks about movies and music, or whatever it is that we want to talk about. But mainly, it is entertainment movie related. We're always going to be seeing the latest big blockbuster movie, or the latest movie that catches our eye, or just movies in general we're just going to see. And so that means we're seeing quite a number of movies a year. And usually what it comes down to is, either I'll just go see the movie by myself, or Antonio will go see it by himself, or Mike, or whatever the combination is, or it's me and Mike, or me and Antonio, or Antonio and Mike, and, whatever the, bajillion possibilities that there are in that scenario with the three of us, or an extra person. We're going to go see movies at least, 50 times a year. I remember, I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, on my Regal account, it said that I had went to, I think it was about a year ago. 2 years ago. I went to the theaters about 40, 45 times or whatever. It said that I visited a Regal theater. Now, Regal is not the only theater chain that I use or that I go to. So I most certainly had went to at least 41 to 46 movies that year. It most certainly was way more than that. But so I go to the movies a lot, at least once a week, and if not, at least 4 or more times a month. I try to make sure I go see a couple of movies. Not only just for the podcast, but just for my benefit. I love seeing a good, not even a good. Screw that. I like seeing a movie in a theater. I think we've discussed that in the podcast's history before, but there's something about the theater experience that is unparalleled, in my opinion. I don't care if you have a home theater system where you have 2 or 3 rows of seats, giant screen. If that room is only filled with you and your wife, or you and your wife and your kids, or just you yourself or whatever, it's not that real atmosphere that you're really looking for. It's just something about being in a giant room with a ton of people all feeling the same thing. That feel of, desperation, the feel of hate, and the feel of love. And there's just something about being at a movie theater with 10 or more people. And just, the smells, sometimes it's really bad, but just the amazing smells of popcorn and cotton candy, or, just candy in general, and nachos and pretzels, and, good stuff. Just good, an overall amazing, just experiences to be had at a movie theater. And we could talk about that in another episode. We could just totally, I think the guys and I were talking about having a an episode regarding best movie theaters or just best movie theater experiences or just movie theater experiences in general. And I feel like that's something we will do down the line. Who knows? Maybe it's next week's Tangent Friday. who knows? Who cares? Who cares? But I feel like this is why it's all tangent related, because I just go left and right. I feel like today's episode, which is, if you read it on our Twitter or saw it on our Facebook account, we are going to be talking about, or at least I'm going to be talking about, the new world that is movie subscriptions at movie theaters. And so we're going to get right into that in a couple of seconds. But before we do, let's get some groundwork laid out first. I know the show is called Facts Not Included, but let's talk about the three companies that we're going to be discussing real quick. So there's AMC A-List. So AMC, as you know, is the theater chain called AMC. You got AMC A-List, and then you have MoviePass, which is not a movie theater company. It's just a movie subscription-based type of company. And then a very similar company to that is Cinemia. So those are the big three movie theater subscription passes that are out there. They all vary in price, and it's just a really interesting world that we live in. So we're going to get right into that in 1 second. So you're probably wondering which one you need to buy, or should you even get involved in this in the first place? And I'll just say that, let's wait a minute. There's three of them, as we mentioned, and I'm sure that Regal is going to come out with their own very soon, maybe even Cinemark, if you have a Cinemark near you. I know I don't, but I know there's like plenty around the country. And there's a bunch of other movie theater chains that are pretty big, but those are like the big three. AMC, Cinemark, and Regal. No particular order, I suppose, but I know AMC for sure is the biggest theater chain in the country. So it is an interesting thing that these even exist, and so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a little bit. So MoviePass was the first of this type of thing in existence, at least in recent history. I don't know if there was anything like it before, but I know MoviePass is the first of its kind, from what I understand. And I think MoviePass came about in about 2010, 2012, like a while ago. It was like they've been out for a while, but they weren't, trying to build a giant fan base until recently. And it's funny because MoviePass is sketchy as hell. It's crazy because they have a good deal. Like when you read it on paper, it sounds pretty awesome. But then when you find out a bunch of other things and talk about, them, realize what they're doing behind closed doors, kind of, you start going, morally, I don't really feel too comfortable with this company. So MoviePass offers a $9.95, if I'm not mistaken, unlimited movie viewing for the month, So $9.95 a month, you can see as many movies as you want, but you cannot see the same movie twice, which is a big thing for people, and it's kind of big for me. I like to see the same movie multiple times. You can only see a movie once in a theater ever. You can only get your movie tickets in person, which is not good for people like us, or even our fan base. We like seeing the movies the first weekend. And now, if you want to repeat that movie and see it again the week after, but you would have to pay the first time you saw it full price, and you have to make sure you get it weeks and weeks and weeks in advance, especially if it's a movie like Infinity War or anything along those lines. And so it's kind of like, not for everyone. MoviePass is most certainly for your average moviegoer. It is 100% for the people that are like, I'm not a big movie person, and I just go to the movies every now and then during a month, or it's I'll go get it if I only like seeing small movies, or I don't really care about being spoiled, those type of people, the average moviegoers, people that are not dedicated to the genre or dedicated to the world that is film. These are the people that just go to movies because their friend was like, dude, go check that out. That's how I see MoviePass. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's how I see MoviePass. MoviePass is definitely not a subscription service that you're going to want to have if you want to go to the movie opening night on Thursday or Friday, because you're going to walk into that theater going, I'm stupid. I totally was not able to get in because that movie's going to be sold out. Now, if it's a movie like Skyscraper that no one's going to be seeing this weekend, yeah, I mean, fine, you're probably fine. But if it's a movie like Ant-Man that came out the week before, you're probably not going to be getting into that movie theater. But maybe you are. I don't know. So that's MoviePass kind of in a nutshell. And so MoviePass has been known to do some sketchy things. They were making at one point, from what I know, they were making AMC. They were trying to force AMC to give them some revenue from tickets, or was it concessions, or one or the other? And AMC was like, "No, screw you. We're never ever going to make a deal with you guys," and because they were like, "We own these theaters, we want to make the money from it," and I understand that. That makes sense. And then a couple of months later, of course, AMC comes out with their own subscription service, so those comments were justified, because it was also just like, well, we have something up our sleeves, we're coming out with something very soon. And so that's MoviePass. MoviePass is really weird. They also, at some point, were making people go see only certain movies, and you're not allowed to, depending on what they decide, are kind of pushed away from getting to see certain movies, depending on what they are allowing for that week or that month. And so that's partially why I never joined in on MoviePass, because, one, not being able to buy tickets online for me is huge. I need to be able to buy my tickets way, way in advance. Yes, there are many occurrences. There are many scenarios in which I buy my tickets at the theater. There are many times I go to a local theater where you cannot buy tickets online. Fine. I'm okay with that. There are occurrences where there are scenarios where I go to an AMC or a Regal, and I go out to the movie theater on a whim, just like, hey, look, it's a movie theater. I want to go, and so I buy it at the booth. But that's not something I do all too often. I used to do it a lot when there was that movie theater across the street from where I lived. There was a theater here in Staten Island that used to be here, and I would go there any day of the week, where there was, if there was school, it depended. But if there was no school, especially in the summer, I'll go at the crack of dawn, man. When they opened, like at 8, 9 in the morning, when they have their first showing, or 10 o'clock or whatever, I would go on a weekend, and tickets were cheap there. So it didn't, and also not a lot of people would go to that theater because it was not the cleanest of theaters, and it was falling apart. And so they didn't care, and also that's partly why it closed down, and also because they're building this giant complex here. But yeah, I mean, no one. It's rare now that people buy tickets at the box office. It's usually it's the people that don't go to the movies too often, and are just like, all right, I'll go see that movie because you told me to see it. It's the average moviegoer that's going to go see it, and there's a lot of them, so it's fine. Again, that's what MoviePass is about. I'm not too keen about it. So then there's Cinemia. And Cinemia was actually, no joke, before AMC announced that they had their own subscription service, I was going to join Cinemia. I was this close. I was like, and you can't see me putting my fingers together, but you get the idea. I was so close, just so close to signing up for Cinemia. Cinemia was having a big deal, like $4.99. You get to see one movie a month, which is, in the eyes of MoviePass, expensive. But in regards to Cinemia, still, if you can see one movie for $5 in a month, that's a deal to me. That's a deal to me. And here's also the benefit of Cinemia. Cinemia, you could buy your tickets in advance. You can buy your tickets online, you can buy them in advance, and you have nothing to worry about. And it works at all theaters as well, just as MoviePass does. And both of these cards work as like debit cards. So where it asks you to put in your information, you don't put it under like a promotion card or a gift card. You put it right under where it says, credit card or debit card. You put in your information. They're both MasterCard, so they come up as MasterCard, and you use them. So I was going to get Cinemia. Cinemia, the plan I was going to get 2 sets of 3 tickets. So for 2 people, you get to see 3 movies a month. So that's a total of 6 tickets, right? So 2 people, 3 movies a month, total of 6 tickets. And I think it came out to like $29. And so that's a total of 3 movies for $30. So that's 10. That's $5 a ticket. That's what it basically comes out to, right? If my math is correct. That's basically very simple math. I listen. If you know me at all, you know for a fact that I am terrible at simple math. Not that I'm any good at complex math, but I can barely even do simple math. It all stems back to middle school, guys. And then I got it back in high school, and then I lost it after I graduated high school. It's a weird story. Maybe you could even talk about that in the future, but it's just let's just say that I suck at math. That's it. But anyway, so it comes out to about I think it's like still $5 a ticket, $30 whatever for the month. Set of a pair of 3 tickets, so 6. And so that's Cinemia in a nutshell. And with that, you get to see at least one of those 3 movies. One of them can be an IMAX or a 4D or a 3D. And that's something you can't get with MoviePass. Another thing you have to worry about MoviePass right now is you have to worry about surcharges. If a lot of people are going to see the movie and you're going to, they could charge you an extra. I think it's anywhere from $2 to $3 to $4 maybe, but I know it's anywhere from $2 to $3 extra for that one showing. So you could be paying a total of at least $12 extra a month if you see, 3 movies. 3 movies. You could pay even more if you're seeing multiple movies that have these surcharges applied to them. So MoviePass is getting a little bit more expensive in regards to that. So Cinemia, $30 for 6 tickets. So 3 movies, 6 tickets, right? And so that's what I was going to get, and then all of a sudden, the people at AMC were just like, hey, we're coming out with something real soon. Real soon. We're coming out with it. A couple of weeks. Give us some time. It's coming out. We're going to work. We're tweaking everything just before it releases. Don't go anywhere. I said, all right. I'll think about it. I'll see. Because AMC is not my go-to theater. It's Regal. That's the one I'm really big on. And so I was like, all right, I'll think about the AMC thing when it comes out. And I want to read up on it. And so it came out. But before it came out, I was very like, nah, fuck it. I'm not even going to join the AMC one. I'm still going to join Cinemia. Screw it. I'm just going to do that. Because there wasn't really any information at the time in regards to what AMC's system was going to be like. And then when I found out what it was, so you could see up to 12 movies a month for $20. But you could only see 3 within a week. So I was reading their website and something along the lines of like, let's say sorry, grammar. I think they said that Thursday night is like the cutoff for the week or something. Or is it Wednesday night? One of those. Is a cutoff, and then your week resets on that Friday. So as long as you see the 3 before that Thursday night or Friday, then you're fine. And as long as you don't see your 4th movie before then, because they're not going to let you, then you're fine. And then after that, you can see 3 more. And then after that, you can see 3 more, and so on and so forth. And so that's a really good deal because think about it. 12 movies for $20 is a lot less than the other 2 deals. And also the benefit of it being only at AMC. For a lot of people, that's huge. For a lot of people, they only go to an AMC theater. So that's pretty big too. And also it's huge because you could use your AMC app. You could go see fucking 12 movies. Come on, for $20. And so it just works, right? I think it's the best deal of all of them. And so this weekend, I'm actually going to probably sign up for it. There is a lot of, benefits. There's great, tremendous benefits to it. But the downside for me right now is just partially why I haven't joined yet. And I know you're probably like, dude, you're just talking about shit that you don't even know anything about, and you expect us to believe you because you don't have any of them? Well, the reason I don't have this one yet, is because they currently do not have you don't have the ability to use this with people other than yourself. And what I mean by that is you cannot go in groups or on a date with someone using AMC A-List. And if you do, again, I don't have it yet, so I don't know. but I am not sure. I'm not too sure if you could buy. Let's say you buy 3 tickets and one of them is yours and it's an A-list ticket, and you need to buy full price 2 other tickets. I don't know if they even let you do that, and I also don't even know if there's certainly no feature that allows you to put in someone else's A-list membership number. I know it's something a couple of people in my circle have been talking about, and they're like, there's no spot for where you could put someone else's number. So that's something AMC has to work on, and or even like buy a family subscription, like $40 a month. You can go see 12 movies for 2 people. Do that. I'll be cool with that. But the one I would be more interested in is inputting someone else's movie subscription number, an A-list number, because 1, you don't have to worry about paying that person's bill. They could do it themselves. 2, and I think this is the big one, especially for me, because I don't always go to the movie theater with other people. So I think it's like you could still use your subscription, which is a solo plan, by yourself, and if you choose to go with other people, you just need to put their number, or they need to put your number on the purchase thing. So I don't know. I feel like AMC needs to work on that, and they need to tweak that. Also, because Atom Tickets, it's like similar to like Fandango or whatever. Atom Tickets has been doing that since I think its inception, where there's no discount really to the tickets unless you have T-Mobile, where you get T-Mobile Tuesdays, but there's no subscription thing or discounts. But there is the would you like to add friends to this, and so they send a bill, your friend's bill, to your friend, and they just pay you through like PayPal or whatever. And I think Fandango's doing that, or they've been doing it, or they're about to. I'm not too sure, because what I usually do is I'll buy the tickets, and then I'll have my friends like Venmo me or whatever, or PayPal me, which is apparently the same company, 2 different apps though. And so usually that is what we do, or we exchange cash, or blowjobs. No, I'm just kidding. Just cash, or Venmo or whatever. And so that's usually how we do our movie theater thing. Or if I'm really nice, I'm like, guys, don't worry, I pay for the tickets. And that happened once. It's never happening again. Yeah, but these, I don't know. I'm really interested in where we go from here with these subscription things. I know I talked about them like oddly, but I'm curious where we go from here, because the moment Regal does it, buying it, 2 seconds. I heard Alamo Drafthouse is in the works of making their own, which is going to be really dope, because there's going to be an Alamo near my house next year, at the end of next year or something. And so I'm looking forward to that happening. But it's kind of like, I don't know. What does this mean for, the box office person? What does this mean for movie ticket prices in the future? Because ticket prices here in New York range anywhere from, I think, okay, I'll go as low as the matinees. So 11 or 10. Let's go from 10. They range from anywhere from 10 to like $26 for a ticket. And where it costs, 25, 26 is, at the 4DX or the IMAX theaters. But still. So it ranges anywhere from 10 to $25, $26. That's a lot. And it averages, the national average is 9 and change. I think it's about 970 or 970 something. That's the national movie theater ticket average. In New York, I want to say, this is all just coming out of my ass, but I want to say the average here in New York is $15. That's crazy. $15 a ticket. So if you go on a date, you're spending minimum $30 plus tax, and plus, if you like popcorn, you got to shove out another $8. $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 for popcorn. It all depends on where you go and the size you get, right? Then you want a drink, and then you want nachos. It's ridiculous. And I know I'm tooting a horn that has been blown for years. It's been an issue we've been dealing with for years. But maybe, just maybe, this is the beginning of something new brewing. And it just goes to show that AMC, well, not even just AMC, all the movie theater chains are overcharging for movie theater tickets. Because if you could come out with a subscription plan where you could see 3 movies a week and a total of 12 per month for $20, I think you're a little inflated. I know they know, because I'm well aware that they are aware that not everyone's going to join this. And so they know they're going to still get, those big ticket revenue from your average goer. But the fact that they could even do this at all just goes to show you that it's extremely inflated. I mean, then excuse me. Then again, we could have the conversation of what's the value of anything ever, at all. But with that aside, you could just tell come on, you could just tell all of this is highly inflated. Come on. There's no reason a movie theater ticket should cost anywhere above $10. $10 is fine. $15 is a little excessive, especially for me and for my friends that go to the theaters all the time. We have yet to receive any, movie theater premiere tickets for free from any studio. So, we still pay for our tickets to review movies for you guys. And so we're still in that spot. And so it sucks, it sucks. And it sucks for not even just us, just average people in general to go to the movies. Like, it's a thing for leisure, and it shouldn't cost as much as it does. So that's why I'm very excited and very happy that these things exist. As much as I'm not a fan of MoviePass, I love that it's a thing. I love that it exists. I'm not yet subscribed to either Cinemia or AMC A-List or whatever Regal's doing or Alamo's doing, but I am so happy that they are a thing. Now, this could mean that they start charging more and more and more dollars. Sorry, they start charging more and more money for these subscriptions down the line, but we haven't gotten there yet. We're just at the infancy stage of them being developed and them coming out. So we're not there yet, and we don't know. But I'm really happy for where we're at. We can only go really up from here, and we can start crashing down. But hopefully that's not for, hundreds of years from now. But who knows? This is also movie theaters fixing their asses, saving themselves. Because statistically, apparently, last year and every year, I think for the last couple of years, movie theater audiences have dropped nationally. Like, the number has dropped nationally, and tremendously at that. Movie theater revenue has gone up a lot. Studio revenue has gone up a lot. But it's because theater ticket prices have gone up. So they think that by charging more and making more money, that's okay. But they're not seeing the big picture, which is because we're charging more, less people are showing up. So we're losing fans, but we're also making more money. What it should be is you'll gain more fans if you drop the prices, and it'll even out. And who knows? Who's to say that you don't make more money from doing that? You don't know, right? You don't know because you haven't fucking tried. You haven't tried. I don't know, man. It's just something that these studios and these theaters have to think about. Work together, man. I know it's all about the Benjamins, and I know it's all about the money. So you theaters and you studios got to work together. Because who's to say that down the line, maybe next year or whatever, if MoviePass is still around or Cinemia or whatever, another big company like them comes around and just has this deal that just kicks ass and starts messing with these theater chains. I don't know. I don't know what could happen or who would come in, but I don't know. It's something to look at. And if you guys want, I would suggest, if you want a suggestion, again, I don't subscribe to any of these yet, but the one that I would join is AMC A-List. I think that's the one that has more bang for your buck. You're able to get tickets on demand. On demand meaning like when you want to buy them. Sorry, when you want to buy them, you can get them online, you can get them in person, you can get them on the app. Excuse me. You could see 3 movies per week, total of 12 per month, for a grand total of $20 right now. And even if they jump it to 30 or 25, that's still a good deal right now. Especially the ticket price climate that we're in. It's a great deal. It's an amazing deal. So I would recommend AMC A-List. Second to that, Cinemia. And forget about MoviePass, man. Forget about it. Unless you're just the average moviegoer that's just like, I don't care, and I'll just spend the $10 and see like 3 or 4, 5, or 10 movies a month. Fine. But just remember, you can't get them in advance. At least not right now. Anyway, I feel like that's enough rambling and stupidity for today. I was giving you a lot of facts, guys, for a show that's called Facts Not Included. Ugh, what has it become? Well, anyway, I've been Peter. I'm your little wonderful host here, here at the show. As always, recording from my humble abode, my bedroom. Jeez, what a depressing little story we have there. But I hope you guys enjoy yourselves, enjoy the weekend, and don't forget, we're actually having an Ant-Man review coming out in just 2 days on this Sunday, so don't forget to check that out. And remember, we're not only on the internets, we're actually everywhere on the internet. So what I mean by that, we're on Podcast Addict, iTunes, or whatever it's called now, Apple Podcasts. We're on Podbean, of course. We're on Spotify, guys. I'm so happy to finally say we're on that little network there called Spotify. And we're on there. We're on YouTube as well. Check us out on all these platforms. If you want to hit us up, you want to have a friendly little conversation and just talk to us a little bit. We're lonely people. Hit us up at Gmail, on our little Gmail. Email us, Hit us up on Twitter, and even Facts Not Included on Facebook, So just make sure you're getting us on all the social media that we exist on. More to come, of course. We'll see you guys in 2 days, and then we'll see you next week for another Tangent Fridays. Peace out, guys. Goodbye.